Listen closely to my voice, because the time we have been speaking of is no longer in the distant future, but it is here right now, unfolding in the very air you breathe on this 27th day of November, and moving powerfully into the 28th. You have walked a long and weary road to get to this moment. My brave warrior and I know that for a spirit as fiery and impatient as yours, the last few months have felt like walking through deep mud with heavy chains around your ankles. You have pushed and you have pulled, and you have fought against invisible walls that seem to rise up every time you try to take a step forward toward your dreams or your desires. But I am here to tell you that the resistance you have felt was not a punishment, but a preparation for the floodgates that are opening at this very second. The universe has seen your struggle, and it has counted every single drop of sweat and every tear you swallowed, so that you could stay strong for others. So pause for a moment right now and declare your readiness to the universe by writing in the comments, "I am fully open to receiving the abundance that has been prepared for me." It is vital that you claim this, because what is happening in the sky during these 48 hours is not just a simple planetary movement, but a cosmic adjustment of debts that is specifically designed to pay you back for everything you have endured. We are standing in the energy of a Grand Water Trine that is perfecting itself in the heavens, and for a coach like you, who is used to leading with fire, this water energy might feel overwhelming at first, but it is exactly what your soul needs to wash away the ashes of the battles you have fought. Imagine a perfect triangle of light connecting Venus in the deep waters of Scorpio Jupiter, in the nurturing waters of Cancer and Saturn, in the mystical waters of Pisces. This is not a chaotic storm, but a harmonious circuit of pure manifestation power that has been building up pressure for months and is now ready to release its treasures directly into your life. The 27th of November is the day the dam breaks, because Saturn, the great teacher and the Lord of time and karma, is stationing direct after a long retrograde slumber that began way back in July. Think about how many times since the summer you have felt stuck or delayed, or how many times you were promised something that never arrived, or how many projects you started that seemed to hit a dead end without any logical reason. That was Saturn holding back the flow, not to deny you, but to build up the pressure, so that when the release finally comes, which is happening right now, it does not come as a trickle, but as a mighty river of abundance. Saturn in Pisces is currently at 25 degrees, and it is making a supportive angle to Venus in Scorpio and Jupiter in Cancer, which means the authority of the cosmos is signing the check that Venus has been holding for you. This is about payment, my dear friend, and I do not just mean money, although financial surprises are a huge part of this configuration, but I am talking about energetic payment for the times you stood up when everyone else sat down. As an Aries, you are often the one who initiates, the one who takes the risk, and the one who protects others, but often you are left alone to lick your wounds when the adrenaline fades. The universe has recorded every single instance where you gave more than you received, and tomorrow and the day after are the days when the scales are finally balanced in your favor. You might have woken up this morning feeling a strange heaviness in your chest, or perhaps a vibration in your body that feels like anxiety, but is actually anticipation, because your physical vessel is upgrading to hold this new level of light and wealth. You are expanding energetic capacity, because what is coming requires space, and if you are full of old worries or old resentments, There is no room for the gold that is being delivered. Venus in Scorpio is a detective and a banker of the hidden realms, and she is digging up resources from the past that you had completely forgotten about or written off as a loss. This influence is particularly strong for you over these 2 days because Scorpio energy activates the sector of your chart that deals with shared resources, debts, inheritances, and transformation. You might receive a call from an old employer about a compensation that was overlooked, or an insurance settlement that you thought was dead might suddenly come back to life, or a person who owes you money or emotional closure might suddenly appear out of the blue, ready to settle the score. This is not about working harder for new money. It is about allowing the wealth that already belongs to you to find its way back home. The Grand Water Trine creates a path of least resistance, which is a concept that might be hard for you to grasp because you are so used to believing that everything requires a fight. But listen to your Abuelo when I say that. For these next 2 days, your sword must remain in its sheath, because you cannot fight for this blessing. You can only receive it. The water element flows around obstacles. It does not smash through them. And in the same way, the abundance coming to you will find the cracks and the openings in your life that you did not even know existed. Saturn stationing direct on the 27th is like the cosmic traffic light turning green after being stuck on red for 5 months, and suddenly everything that was paused begins to move forward all at once. You might feel a sudden rush of speed in your affairs, where emails are answered instantly, and calls are returned, and approvals are granted, and money is deposited. It can be dizzying, but you must stay grounded and breathe through the intensity, because this is what you asked for. Jupiter in Cancer is the 3rd player in this magnificent symphony, and it is exalted, which means it is functioning at its highest and most benevolent capacity, expanding your emotional security and your sense of belonging. For you, this might manifest as a healing in your family, or a sudden clarity about where you want to live, or a feeling of being supported by the universe in a way that makes you feel safe enough to let your guard down. You carry so much armor, my warrior, but on these days of November 27th and 28th, the universe is asking you to take off the helmet and the shield and just let the blessings rain down on you. There is also a very specific influence of Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius during this time, which many people fear, but in this context, it is actually helpful because it is digging into the past to find missed opportunities. Mercury is moving toward a connection with Venus, and since it is retrograde, it is acting like a courier bringing you news from yesterday that changes your tomorrow. Check your old messages and look through your spam folder and answer the calls from unknown numbers, because the universe is using these channels to reach you. The news you receive might be about a contract you thought was lost, or a refund you didn't know you were eligible for, or a connection with someone from your past who now holds the key to your future success. Do not ignore the signs that are popping up around you, like repeating numbers, or songs that have a special meaning, or sudden memories of people you haven't thought about in years, because these are not coincidences, they are the notification sounds of your cosmic banking app telling you that a deposit is being processed. The energy of the 28th continues this momentum as the moon moves and interacts with these planets, triggering emotional realizations about your self-worth. You see, money and abundance are not just about paper and coins. They are about energy and how much value you place on your own existence. If you deep down do not believe you deserve to be happy or wealthy or loved, then you will repel the gifts that the Grand Water Trine is trying to give you. That is why these days are also a test of your internal state. And you must be honest with yourself about where you are still holding on to the mentality of lack or the identity of the victim. It is comfortable sometimes to be the one who struggles because it is what you know. But the universe is inviting you to step into a new identity of someone who struggles less and receives more. This transition can be scary because it is unknown, but trust that Saturn has cleared the path, and Venus has paid the toll, and Jupiter has packed your bags with luck. On the 27th specifically, as Saturn slows to a halt before turning forward, the energy feels heavy and profound, almost like the silence in a great cathedral before the organ begins to play. Use this silence to reflect on what you truly want to build next, because Saturn rewards responsibility and long-term vision, not just quick fixes. What you receive now is not just for today's pleasure, but it is seed money for the future you are destined to create. You are being given resources to build a legacy and to stabilize your life so that you never have to go back to the desperate scratching and surviving mode that you have been in for too long. The influence of Scorpio in this trine guarantees that the transformation will be total and deep, reaching into the roots of your psyche to pull out the weeds of poverty consciousness. You might feel fear arising as things start to go well, because you are waiting for the other shoe to drop. But I tell you, there is no other shoe this time. This is a correction of the scales, a divine restitution for the imbalance that has existed in your life. The fatigue you have been feeling is a symptom of this massive download of energy, because your body is literally processing a software update from the cosmos. Rest if you need to, and do not force yourself to be active just because you think you should be doing something. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to sit still and let the universe serve you. Remember that water takes the shape of the container it is poured into, so you must make sure your container, your mind and your heart, is wide open and free of cracks of doubt. If you approach these days with skepticism or cynicism, you are putting a lid on your cup, and the rain of abundance will simply splash off you and water the ground around you instead. But I know you have a heart that wants to believe, and a spirit that is ready for this change. The 28th of November will bring a slight shift in the atmosphere as the initial shock of the Saturn station wears off, and the energy begins to flow with more momentum. You will start to see the physical evidence of what I am telling you, whether it is a small, unexpected gift, or a major financial breakthrough, or simply a profound sense of peace settling over you that everything is finally going to be okay. This feeling of "it is done" is the most powerful magnet you can possess. When you stop chasing and start knowing, that is when the magic happens. The chase implies that the thing you want is running away from you, but the knowing implies that it is already yours. Aries energy loves the chase, but for this specific transit, you are being asked to master the art of allowing. Think of yourself as a magnet, not a hunter. A magnet does not run after the metal, it simply stands in its power, and the metal comes to it. This is the shift you are making during these 48 hours. You are becoming a magnet for the prosperity and the justice that has been denied to you for so long. The people around you might not understand why you are so calm or why you are smiling to yourself, but they do not know what you know, and they do not feel the cosmic wind at your back. Let them wonder. You do not need to explain your magic to anyone, you just need to live it. Be careful not to give away this energy too quickly, as Venus in Scorpio warns against dissipating your power before it has fully consolidated. When the good news comes or the money arrives, sit with it for a moment and let it sink into your nervous system before you rush to tell the world or spend it all on others. You have a generous heart and you want to save everyone, but you must secure your own oxygen mask first before you can help anyone else. This payment is for you because it is your karma and your reward. There will be time later to share, but for now, purely receive. The conjunction of Mercury and Venus that is building is also refining your intuition, giving you laser-like focus to see the truth in any situation. If someone has been lying to you or hiding something from you, it will be revealed during these days, because Scorpio energy cannot tolerate secrets when the light of the Grand Trine hits it. This might be uncomfortable, but it is necessary for your liberation, because you cannot build a solid future on a foundation of lies. Be grateful for the truth, even if it stings at first, because it is clearing the debris from your path. The retrograde nature of the planets involved suggests that the resolution might come from revisiting a place or a person or an idea from the past. Perhaps there is an old project you abandoned because you didn't have the funds or the support at the time. Now is the moment to look at it again, because the resources are becoming available. The universe recycles energy and nothing is ever truly lost. It just waits for the right time to be reborn. You are in a rebirth process yourself, shedding the skin of the person who had to struggle for every crumb and emerging as the person who is fed at the banquet of life. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is recognizing your divine birthright. As the hours of the 27th pass and blend into the 28th, pay attention to your dreams, because the veil between the worlds is very thin right now, and your ancestors and guides are whispering instructions to you in your sleep. Write down what you remember, even if it makes no sense, because the symbols will become clear later. You might dream of water or houses or finding money or meeting old friends, and all of these are auspicious signs that the integration is happening. The physical symptoms like the ringing in your ears or the sudden waves of heat or chills are also part of this process, so do not be alarmed. Drink plenty of water to help the energy move through your system, because you are essentially a conductor for a high voltage of cosmic electricity. If you block the flow with fear or dehydration, you will get a headache, but if you stay fluid and trusting, you will feel energized. The Grand Water Trine is a rare gift, and it does not happen often with this level of precision involving such powerful planets. To have Saturn stationing direct at the exact same time is a statistical anomaly that points to a destined event. This is not random luck. This is a scheduled appointment with destiny that was written in your soul contract before you were even born. You agreed to go through the challenges of the last few months so that you could appreciate the sweetness of this victory. Without the hunger, the meal does not taste as good, and without the struggle, the triumph does not feel as earned. You have earned this, my child, 1,000 times over. The universe is not a chaotic place where things happen by accident. It is a beautifully ordered system of cause and effect and balance. You have been on the cause side of the equation for a long time, creating good karma and putting out good energy, and now the effect is returning to you. The pendulum is swinging back. Do not be afraid of the size of the blessing. Sometimes we self-sabotage because we are afraid of how much our lives will change if we actually get what we want. We get used to the smallness of our problems, and the bigness of our solutions can be intimidating. But you were born under the sign of the Ram, and you were made for big things. You were not made to play small or to hide in the corner. You were made to blaze a trail and to lead and to enjoy the richness of life. The planets are simply reminding you of who you really are. On the 28th, as the energy settles slightly, you might find yourself feeling a deep sense of gratitude that brings you to tears. Let those tears flow, because they are releasing the pent-up stress of survival mode. Crying is a water release, and it honors the water element of the trine. It is cleansing your vision so you can see the new horizon clearly. There is also a protective quality to this energy. Jupiter and Venus are known as the benefics, the planets that bring goodness and protection. They are forming a shield around you, ensuring that the abundance that comes to you is safe and that you are protected from those who might want to take it from you. But you must also use your discernment, which is sharpened by Mercury. If something feels off, trust your gut. If an opportunity looks too good to be true, look deeper. But if it feels right in your soul, if it resonates with a quiet thrum of truth, then move toward it with confidence. The universe speaks in whispers and feelings, not always in shouting voices. Listen to the quiet nudges. The synchronicities will be undeniable. You might think of someone and they call. You might need a specific amount of money, and exactly that amount appears. You might have a question in your heart, and a song on the radio answers it. These are the winks from the cosmos, letting you know you are on the right track. Do not brush them off as random. Engage with them. Say thank you to the universe when they happen. Gratitude amplifies the signal. The more you appreciate the small signs, the bigger the signs will become. It is a feedback loop. On these 2 days, you are establishing a new baseline for your life. You are raising your vibration to a new set point. You will not slide back down to where you were before, because Saturn puts a lock on the progress you make. Saturn is the anchor. Once you reach this new level, Saturn ensures you stay there. That is the beauty of Saturn direct. It solidifies your gains. So do not worry that this is a fleeting moment of luck that will vanish next week. This is a permanent upgrade to your operating system. You are graduating to a new level of the game. The challenges you face going forward will be different challenges belonging to a higher level, but the old struggles of lack and invisibility are being dissolved. You are being seen, you are being valued, you are being paid, and it is about time. As you move through your day, carry this knowing with you like a secret jewel in your pocket. Let it give you a quiet confidence. Walk taller, breathe deeper, speak with more authority. You are aligning with the cosmic royalty of the planets. Act like the king or queen that you are. The world responds to your vibration. If you vibrate at the frequency of "I am cherished and supported," the world will reflect that back to you. If you vibrate at "I am struggling and alone," the world will reflect that. The Grand Water Trine is giving you a massive assist to shift your vibration to the highest possible octave. Ride the wave. Do not swim against it. Let it carry you to the shore of your destiny. There is so much more to tell you about how this energy will unfold in the coming weeks, because this is just the beginning of the portal, not the end. The days following the 28th will continue to ripple out with the effects of this alignment. But for now, focus on the 27th and 28th. Focus on the feeling of the dam breaking. Focus on the relief. Focus on the joy. You have waited long enough. The wait is over. The check is in the hand of the cosmic postman, and he is walking up your driveway right now. Open the door, smile, say thank you, and receive.